Well, welcome to the Bulletin. We're standing outside Sasol Club, where we just had the air emissions license public consultation sessions. I hope I've got it right. And with me is Grant McGillan. Grant, I'm going to get it right one day. I think by the end of this interview I'll have it right.
Thank you, sir.
Grant, give me a short overview of your story, because I want to get to what happened inside and ask about that. But give me a short background, because people wouldn't know who Grant is.
Correct.
Just
Correct.
As a start.
Thank you for that intro. And so 10 years ago, I came to Secunda from sunny Durban to come and fix this plant with a 4 billion rand budget. To help the people of Secunda have a better lifestyle. And we find ourselves here 10 years later in the knowledge that there's no improvement in the plant condition from an air quality and noise point of view. And so very innocently, the people of Secunda still have to endure this chaos, this fallout from the catastrophic disaster that was the LCCP project over in America. So what has happened is the cash flow has very significantly dried up in the company. The share price lingers at still 50% of its high, and we have to fight on. We have to challenge Sasol. We spent the best part of 2.5 hours today, bullet point by bullet point, challenging every single aspect that they want to propagate to the children of the town and to the general public. And we just find it ingrained into us to maintain the challenge, and we'll have to go back to the AGMs, we'll have to speak to the board, and we'll have to keep trying to convince them that things are not right and that we are going to put it right. So,
Grant, I want to ask one or two questions on what happened inside. You started right at the beginning. You were upset with the way they presented this whole public session. I mean, what they say and what they had on paper was different. So I just want a little bit of clarity before we get into something else.
Yes, well, a public participation meeting is to engage with the public and not to be bullied in the fashion that Sasol put up their literature. As much as we try to get Sasol to not try and continue with their misleading line, they persist on a copy and paste exercise year in and year out. And just to clarify that, Gavin, I've been coming to these sessions since late 2016, and it's really just a complete window dressing propaganda exercise, and it cannot persist. It needs to be changed, and that comes through attitude and culture.
You did say that it's not factual. And Ian also said that there's not faction. It's not factional. And Ian actually showed them some pictures of the air emissions, and we see them daily. Strangely enough, I don't see too much today, but it's like you said, maybe we're living in the bubble. Well, are you satisfied with the answers you got today?
Well, no. As I've been trying to get the message across today, the lack of accurate data, the suspicion that the full picture is not presented to us. Myself and a colleague here, Ian, have presented factual data. The suppression of information, which we have in our possession, and they've refused to buy into and present as part of their package today, is quite alarming. and things will persist. From our perspective, we will not tolerate misinformation. We will challenge, we will correct, and we're going further on this.
I'm going to ask something that might not have something to do with this, but I think it's part of your story. You did mention that thugs had to remove you from the plant.
Correct.
Short elaboration on that, if you care.
Short elaboration, I issued an email to the then Chief Executive Officer, David Constable, in 2016, and alerting him to misinformation that was propagated in exactly the same fashion that occurred on the LCCP project, because of the culture of lying and cheating and generally being dishonest. And that within 2 hours of doing that, I had 4 thugs come to my office, tell me to pack my stuff, and you will go to the gate and you will not return. And we don't give a monkey's what you do about it. It is non-negotiable. If you ring the bell inside Sasol, trying to put things right, the thugs will come and take you away.
Grant, the last thing I wanted to ask as well, what is the way forward for you and Ian, or most probably more for you? Ian, I'm talking quite a lot to Ian, so I know what his route is, and there's a court case pending. I'm not sure on the next date on that one yet. I forget these things sometimes. But what is your next step? Because obviously you are upset, and rightly so, with a number of things that's happened, a number of things that have been said, and what we can see daily in our lives.
Yes.
What is your next steps then?
Well, the next steps have been presented as solutions to the problem. And that comes from a culture change of moving away from heavy-handed thuggery, from a sort of ingrained domination of the senior management of the company, down into one more of being a decent corporate citizen, as opposed to this sort of domineering, we've been here for 30, 40, 50 years and we're not going to budge. Well, with culture change comes decency, dignity, and just downright ability to have a good lifestyle in what is essentially
Caring.
And caring as well, yes. A decent town that can only improve with such measures, and it's not a difficult process. It comes with training, investment in people, and change. And that's the solution for me. It's not all hammer, head to head.
There's solutions.
Correct.
If they just listen.
They are out there, yes.
Ron, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
It's a very short interview. There's a lot more that we can talk about. I hope to see you in the next one. Maybe we'll...
Indeed.
And I'll prepare some questions ahead of time for you next time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching the Bulletin.